Hello, I'm Father Joe Gambala, pastor of St. Malachy Catholic Church in Sterling Heights. Welcome to our series, Apostles and Popes. Today, I'd like to talk about Pope Leo the Great and what made him great. Now, if you've watched our Masses for some time or attend Mass at St. Malachy, you know I like to make reference to the movies. It's easy to remember something when you remember a story that you connect it to. And I think most people have seen the original Star Wars movies, especially number 2, The Empire Strikes Back. It's the scene where Luke is on the planet Dagobah with all the snakes and all the tropical plants, and he's with Yoda, and Yoda's training him to be a Jedi Knight. And Luke's ship is pretty much stuck in the middle of the swamp and is slowly sinking into the mud. And Yoda tells Luke, why don't you use the Force to get it out yourself? And Luke tries, he gets some movement, but then he gives up. So Yoda walks over and puts out his little 3-fingered hand and gets that ship out of the mud and up in the air and floats it over. And Yoda says, my ally is the Force. With the Force with me, there's nothing I can't accomplish. He says that. Now, it's of course the context of a movie, but I'm using that because Leo believed so strongly in God and that God was with him, that anything that he had to face as pontiff, he could overcome because God was with him. And let me tell you what he had to face. Rome has fallen, and the Roman Empire, the troops have left Italy. They've gone east to Constantinople. The barbarian tribes are marauding up and down the Italian peninsula. Rome has some great walls that gives them some protection, but the civil authorities have left, and Pope Leo has to now assume civil control over the city as well as spiritual control. This is going to be very difficult for him. Refugees are pouring in from the countryside as the latest group of barbarians are coming down the peninsula. The Huns, led by a guy named Attila. That's right, the famous Attila the Hun, probably the worst barbarian of them all. And as these thousands of refugees are pouring into Rome, Leo is frantically trying to find food to feed them, and clothing and blankets and firewood for their campfires, and trying to keep them alive as this crisis keeps growing and growing and moving closer to Rome. Well, eventually, Attila Hun's army gets outside the walls, and Leo knows he has no chance of defending the walls with these civilians against those barbarians. So he gets on a mule and one altar server holding a lamp. And the mule with Pope Leo on it and the altar server walking the mule holding a lamp, the three of them leave the city to go and visit Attila the Hun. We don't know exactly what took place in that meeting. But we do know that when Leo and the altar server and the mule came back, Attila the Hun ordered his huge, massive horde to turn around and leave Italy. We don't know why. But the legend has it that we know Leo did this, that we know. But it's got to be that Leo had such faith in the Lord that if he told this barbarian about the presence of God, this barbarian would be so moved by it that he would take heed before he attacked the holy city and would leave. To have the courage and the strength of Leo would be something to have amazing indeed. But when I look back and I think about difficulties I have faced, none of them remotely approaching the difficulties Leo faced, I realize that I got through it because the Lord gave me the courage to forge ahead and face my problems. And the Lord will give that same courage to you.